got shot in the arm in Afghanistan. Pretty nasty injury. My arm was hanging by its tricep. Hurts like hell. Pretty angry about it. Do I want to potentially get shot again? Do I want to like step into the line of fire? Right, I do.
Welcome back to Mulligan Brothers. Today's video, as always, was sponsored by Huel. I'm drinking Huel Black Edition, which has 26 vitamins and minerals, 35 grams of protein and slow release carbs to make sure that I can stay satiated and proteined up whilst I make these documentaries. If you want to find out more about these, go to the link in the description. I'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video. There was something I think that was really interesting to me. You've battled with loads of different obstacles and friction in terms of what you've done. You've suffered an injury before while serving, and there's a great story about you could have sat back. You could have, and again, it leads up to this story again. Like if you had sat back, then there would have been nobody there to have saved those 700 people. But I'm just curious as to that story and that moment again.
So I got shot in the arm in Afghanistan, and that's a story in itself. But the thing is like I took the bullet arm, was pretty nasty injury. My arm was hanging by its tricep. Luckily I couldn't get to it, and it was a lesson, and I couldn't get to a tourniquet, so I didn't put one on. An officer later on, or not long after I got shot, when I was put into his vehicle, said, "Oh, should I put a tourniquet on there?" And I was like, "No, don't. If I needed it, I would have bled out by now." And then eventually the doctor at the patrol base, she sorted me out. She did a brilliant job. And then they got me airlifted. They did like surgery on it, to investigative surgery. And when I came out, the doctor or the surgeon was there, and he said, "Good job you didn't put a tourniquet on, because if you'd put a tourniquet on, you definitely would have lost your arm. We can't make the decision whether to amputate your arm or not. Well, when you get to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, they'll make the call whether you're going to lose your arm or not." So I didn't know if I was going to lose my my right arm. And then got there, and then they did the surgery again. Bit of luck, came in again, and was discharged from hospital. And then it was 9 months of recovery. And this is the thing, what I've said is like, yeah, it was, getting shot's one thing, and it's pretty nasty, especially if it goes through a bone. It's kind of horrific, but it's a good, like I've said it before, it's a good feeling. It's like if you're like one of these people who want to get amongst it, kind of getting shot and surviving and not having any permanent disability is kind of like a cool thing. It's like, oh, I've been shot. It's like getting the SAS. Like, I've been shot. I've actually been shot. And so it's kind of cool, but not cool at the same time. And then, but again, get shot, hurts like hell, pretty angry about it. And do I want to potentially get shot again? Do I want to like step into the line of fire? Right, I do. Even more so. So get this arm fixed. 9 months later, I got signed off. I got signed off on the Friday or whatever day it was. Yeah, you're now fit. 2 weeks later, back in Afghanistan, ready to take the fight back to the enemy. And one of the things that's interesting to see is when I was in the Queen Elizabeth and some guys who were really badly injured, the common thing with the British soldier that I saw, British soldiers there who lost both, much worse condition, they lost both the legs and an arm, triple amputee, what's the first thing they say when you talk to them? I just want to get back out there. I just want to get back into the fight. Some people clearly don't. And I think, and I've heard some sort of theories that if you get injured, that your brain releases some sort of hormone that actually fixes that issue. So makes you want to go back in it, because it's the most common thing I've heard with anyone who's been badly injured, especially amputees. The common thing they say is, I just want to get back into the fight.
Wow. You spoke actually about that before, about and it's tough for me to say because, you know, I'm not involved in that world at all, but I think you see it with other people who suffer traumatic incidents, as it's sometimes that thing that happened to you is the reason that you become ex-officer or this or that. And like, it will actually lead you to probably your greatest calling, which is a tough conversation to have, but you've had that conversation with multiple people who have suffered quite severe injuries, right?
Yeah. I think, yeah, it's the thing that for some people, it's the best thing that happened to them. For others, it completely destroys their life. And it's too hard to humanize these things, and life gives and takes. And sometimes what might seem like a curse is a gift. And then other times what seems like a gift is a curse. And it's hard to work that out. And sometimes we're fortunate to get given things in life to then be able to reflect on it and work it out. But most of us live our lives without realizing what was the gift and what was the curse.
Do you think that's a mentality thing? Like to understand that there's a gift versus a curse?
No. I think some people might think about it, and other people just live their life without life's life, and we live and then we die, and everything that happens in between is life.
Today's episode, as always, was powered by Huel. This stuff has been absolutely crucial to my training and the world record I just broke, the world's heaviest marathon, where I carried 220 pounds for 28 miles. Yes, I achieved it, guys. It is done. This is what I was drinking, Huel Black Edition. It has 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals and slow release carbs. And it's what I use in my training all the time. But don't just take my word for it. People like the hardest geezer ran across Africa drinking this stuff. It's absolutely amazing. And if you want to get exclusive offers and deals, go to the link in the description and you can find out more about their other products like their daily greens and their meals, which I eat every single lunchtime. Thank you to Huel for sponsoring the video, and let's dive back into the episode.
What built your mindset?
I do think a lot of whatever that mindset is, if it's like the hero mindset or the give no shits or don't tolerate bullies, all these things, or there's a natural foundation that you're born with, and then things are built around it. Like we're saying, the training starts from when you're born, and events will then shape it. And I think that, like, if you want to call it like a warrior mindset, is you could argue that everyone's born with it, and it's just repressed. And then events in life will shape, whether it be your parents or events that you suffer in life or deal with, whether it be good events or bad events, shape how this warrior inside you grows. And then some people are like, it comes out naturally, it's meant to be out there. And other people's, it takes some things. And then a lot of people, it doesn't come out ever because it never had to, and it never will. But and when I say using the term warrior, I don't mean like a special forces warrior or a UFC fighter or it's just day-to-day life, that warrior sort of instinct, that stepping up, saying the right thing when there's something that needs to be said, disagreeing with someone, saving someone, picking something up, anything, can be anything. It's some people it doesn't exist. Some people it doesn't take anything to come out. They've had a great life and everything, but they're still natural warriors. And other people then make a conscious effort to try and enhance that and rip that out of themselves. That's my theory, anyway.
We spoke about there's like this differentiating thing between, like, you know, we take the UFC or fighters, for example. There's really, really good athletes, and then there's these other people, this small subset of people.
It's like from my limited experience of the UFC, which is like minimum, and just knowing some people there, is that and watching it and knowing is to my view, it goes back to the sheepdogs and wolves. I think there's athletes and fighters, and it's like the difference is, you know, when there's probably people who are athletes and they'll fight in the octagon and wouldn't dare fight outside it, and there's others who will have a fight no matter what, because that's what they live for and that's what drives them. And there's so it's that I think it would, like I said earlier, it exists in every occupation, every sport. Everything is different types of people. And it normally, to make it very basic, there's the two things. There was a terrorist incident in 2019. 5 terrorists attacked a hotel complex. I turned up, thought people were dealing with things, could hear gunfire explosions, and then I said, Zach, police in there, special forces. No one's here yet, no one's in there. and gunfire explosions, and I was like, okay, I'm going in.